Hello, traders and investors. Matt Weller here, Global Head of Research for StoneX's self-directed brands, bringing you an exclusive preview of our second half of the year 2026 Bitcoin and crypto market outlook. We'll get into the price action here. We'll talk about some of the fundamental drivers, some of the key technical levels to watch, but I want to encourage everyone off the top to check out the full report on StoneX's market intelligence pages for more details. Starting with the price action, it's clear at this point that Bitcoin is in the midst of a bear market, or what we call a crypto winter. Bitcoin peaked in late 2025 above 120,000. Now, as I'm recording this here in late June of 2026, we're trading below 60,000, a very key level that I get into more detail about in the report. So it's been cut in about half. That's not really out of character on a long-term basis for this nascent asset class. But in the full report, I'll break down some of the next levels of support to watch, including why there may in fact be the potential for more downside to come before a durable bottom can form. Why is that, you ask? This goes back to what I colloquially call the only Bitcoin chart you'll ever need. It's a very long-term chart here, going back about 15 years, or essentially all of Bitcoin's price action to date, and it shows a regular rotation centered around the halving events, which take place every 4 years, where the supply of new Bitcoin is cut in half. And we essentially move from a red stoplight zone to a yellow kind of basing or cautious bull market zone. And then after the halving, that's when we enter the green full bear market, or in some past cases, mania stage for Bitcoin. So you can see this regular rotation. It's something that, at least in the past, has taken place on relatively regular intervals. And as you can see from the chart, if this pattern continues, and there's no guarantee it necessarily will, but if it does indeed continue, we could be in for at least another quarter, maybe 2 quarters of pain before this historically reliable pattern kicks back in for Bitcoin. So do keep an eye out there and check out the full report for some of the dates we'll be watching to see if this pattern is remaining in place. One other thing that we're watching very closely here is valuations, using what's called the MVRV Z-score, which essentially compares the current market price, the MV market value of Bitcoin, to the realized value, or the last price at which each Bitcoin exchanged hands, and then adjusting that based on its historical volatility. That's where the Z-score comes in. We can see that Bitcoin bull markets in the past have peaked, in some cases when it was a relatively new asset, above 10 or so on this ratio, whereas bear markets have essentially troughed or formed a bottom closer to 0, where the market price is equal to the last exchanged price for each Bitcoin. And as you can see now, we are approaching that 0 level. We're at about 0.3 as I speak to you right now, so there could still be some more downside to go, but from a longer term valuation perspective, it's possible that Bitcoin is starting to look a little bit more constructive, though that's not something necessarily that I'd be focusing on trading over just a couple of weeks or months. Of course, in the full report, we have a very thorough breakdown of all the relevant factors that could impact Bitcoin and the broader crypto market. We talk about things like central banks and how they're shifting in a more hawkish direction, looking to raise interest rates after the energy shock that we saw earlier this year. That is something that is weighing on money supply growth. That is a key driver of Bitcoin's use case as an anti-fiat store of value. So we break that down in some more detail. And we also discuss Bitcoin Treasury companies and ETF purchases as a key flow that may have distorted that pattern that we saw in the past, but now appear to have normalized. How changes in that could impact Bitcoin prices will be increasingly important to consider moving forward. So that's our brief preview video. I want to thank you guys for taking a couple minutes out of your day to watch. If this seemed interesting to you, please head over to StoneX's market intelligence page and sign up for a free trial to read this report, as well as 8 other reports where we break down the second half outlook for other major markets. Thanks again, and best of luck with your trading.